Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's project is we're going to be removing an old light fixture and we're going to be replacing it with a new one. All right, so let me show you what kind of tools you're going to need first, and then we're going to go up, take the old fixture down, and we'll put the new one up. All right, this is an example of what kind of tools you're going to need. You're going to need possibly some electrical tape. You may need a pair of needle nose pliers. You may need a pair of cutting pliers to cut the wiring shorter if needed. We may need something to strip the wires to remove the insulation from the wires, but we'll see how that goes. We're going to need a couple of screwdrivers, whether they're flathead or Phillips head, and we're going to need something called a non-contact voltage tester. This voltage tester actually tells you if there's power up in the fixture when you start to remove it. All right, then this is the replacement fixture itself, which we will get into a little bit later on, but we're going to take the old fixture down first, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about this. Now, we did determine the size or the height of the fixture itself by assembling these rods. We made it the size that we wanted to, but we will get back into that in just a minute. All right, for now, we're going to go up and we're going to remove the light fixture, and we'll get rid of the old one first and then continue. So let's go up top. All right, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your power supply is off. Now, this fixture here, I know the power supply is turned off because, as you can see, it's not lit up. If it was on, the lights would be on. But if you're not sure if there's power in the fixture, that's when something like this non-contact voltage tester comes in very handy, and I'll explain to you how that works in just a minute. All right, but let's take this fixture here down. As you can see, this is held in to the box, the existing box, by two screws right here. So we're going to loosen up both of these screws and we'll take them out almost all the way and remove the wiring. So let's do that. It's just a flathead screwdriver. We're going to remove them, take them down. Okay, and now we'll just let it come down just a little bit, just so we can see where the wiring is. We're going to pull it down a little bit, and I'll pull this down and I'll show you what I'm doing in here in just a minute. Okay, this is the wiring up in the top here, and I'm going to tell you this right now, whoever did this didn't know what they were doing, because, and I've seen this many times before, you see that ground wire there, how it's just tied around this bracket? That's no good. If you had a short, you would wind up getting a shock because this is not an adequate connection right here. So just because you open it up and you find the wire wrapped around a certain way, don't put it back on the incorrect way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. We'll move this down out of the way so you can see a little better. But you see this wire, how it's just tied there? That's really very dangerous doing something like that. Okay, so now we're positive the power is off, but if you weren't sure, that's when this non-contact tester would come in very handy. You would just hold the tester near the wire, and it would tell you if there's power in there. Now there you can see there's power in this wire. So we're going to go down to the circuit breaker box, and we're going to turn the box off, just so we have no chance of getting a shock. Okay, so now we're going to remove the fixture itself. We have the power turned off. We're going to take this, hold the two wires with your finger, unscrew it like this, and take this wire off, just like that. Okay? Now, if you're going to be working in here and you want to screw your cap back on, you can, but we're not going to. This one here, we're going to remove the white wire, and remember, the white and the black are going to go back in the same position that you took them off. All right, we're going to take this one off now here as well. Again, if you wanted to screw your cap back on, you could. Now this wire here, they have it tied around on there, and there's really, you can unscrew the bracket here and remove it, but we're just going to choose to cut this off and take it down so we can continue. Okay, now we're going to remove this bracket here. And as I said, never tie it around like this. This is very dangerous. You never want to do something like that. So even if you're a home do-it-yourselfer, make sure you do things correctly. Don't take shortcuts. They should have put a screw into this bracket here to ground this cable the way it's supposed to be. All right, so we're going to take this totally off and we're going to get rid of this. This is then trash. Okay, so now we have this off. Now this is the existing box that comes in the house itself. Let's take our new bracket and we're going to connect our bracket up and we'll put this job back together. So now that we have our fixture down, we're going to install the new bracket that comes with the new light assembly. Now this comes already put through this cover up on top. We're just going to take these two screws off right here, unscrew this, and then we're going to remove this from the upper unit here. Now this part here, we're going to take this and we're going to mount this up in the box. I will tell you this, I preset the height of this already, and the way you do that is you judge by the outside of the light fixture itself. You see how it's about even with the top of the bracket? We adjusted the screws so it's almost even with the top, leaving just a little bit sticking through so that we can screw these nuts on later on to secure it to the box. All right, so let's take this up there. And the way we did this, by the way, we just held this right here, just like this, and we took our Phillips head screwdriver and we tightened it up so that these bolts no longer are loose, they're actually tight to the bracket itself. Okay, so that's how we did that. We're going to open up this package that came with the new light fixture, and we are going to use the new screws and the wire nuts possibly as well. All right, but for now we're going to take these, let's go up there and let's put this part up on the box where it belongs. All right, so we're going to take this now and we're going to put it up here just like this where it's going to go. We're going to take our two screws that came with the new fixture and we're just going to catch it by a couple of threads right here, just a couple of threads to hold it in place, just like that. Okay, and then we'll take our second. Okay, we'll take our second screw and we're going to catch it in the box right here as well. And we're going to screw that in by a couple of threads as well. Okay, and once we have it caught by a couple of threads, we can come in here with our Phillips head screwdriver, which is what these are here, and we're going to screw them up. All right, now that it's fairly tight, we center the bracket in the opening itself. And then we screw these screws down until they're tight. Same thing over here until it's tight. Okay, and our bracket is now mounted up. We're going to loosen this screw here because we are going to use this in just a minute. And we'll wrap our ground wire around that. All right, so let's grab our fixture and we'll continue with that